Now, how important was this idea in your mind that going to college would end the molestation by your father?
How important was it?
Yes, how significant a notion was this?
It was the most important thing in my life. It was everything in my life. It was all I thought about.
Why was it all you thought about?
I don't understand.
All right.
Why was it all I thought about?
Yeah.
Because it would end the sex, and that's all I thought about.
How did you feel at 18 about the fact that your father was having sex with you?
I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. He told me that I was going to be staying home a few nights a week, that I was going to have my bedroom where it was, and it was going to be my bedroom, and that he wanted me to come home and eat and study with him several nights a week, so that my grades would stay up, and that he would be able to keep apprised of what was going on.
Now, was that a significant piece of information for you?
Yes.
And how did you react to hearing that he expected you to sleep at home?
I asked him what he meant. What he meant I was going to be staying home with my bedroom there and so on. And he said that I was going to be sleeping home several nights a week, so that I could, at dinner and after dinner, go over my work with him. And I couldn't accept what he was saying.
What do you mean you couldn't accept it? You said, "No, Dad, I'm not going to do that." Is that what happened?
No, I just kept asking him what he meant. I couldn't accept what he was saying.
Why?
Because he was saying I was going to have to live at home as well as living at college, and
what?
I didn't expect that.
Okay, you didn't expect that. Did you like that idea?
I hated the idea.
Why?
Because my entire dream had been to go to college and to leave home, and for the last several years, all I thought about was going to college, and suddenly he was telling me that I was going to be living at home, and that the
Well, what did you think that meant with respect?
Why don't you let him finish the answer? Did you finish your answer?
No.
Go ahead.
And he was going to be telling me that I was going to be living at home, and that basically the sex was going to continue.
Did he say the sex is going to continue?
No, he didn't say that, but that's what I knew it meant.
That's what you believed it meant?
Yes.
And how did that make you feel?
It made me feel lost. It made me feel like it made me feel like the hope that I had was gone, and that suddenly this was gonna continue throughout college, and I felt like I was crumbling. I felt like nothing mattered anymore, that it was gonna continue.
Emotionally, what did you convey to your father during this meeting, if anything? How did you visibly react?
I guess I just acted stunned. I don't know how I reacted.
Did you cry?
No.
Did you ask him if you couldn't stay at school or take other classes?
No, I knew what he was saying, and I knew there was no arguing about it. I asked him what he meant several times, and he spelled it out for me pretty clearly, and I just realized what he was saying.
And do you recall what time of day this particular conversation took place?
Yes.
When was it?
Late afternoon.
And after that conversation, what did you do?
I went up to my bedroom.
And what did you do?
I just laid in my bed and cried and felt sorry for myself.
And what were you sorry about?
I was sorry that it was going to continue, that I wasn't going to get away from college, and I just didn't care about life anymore. I didn't care about things that were going to happen. I couldn't let this go on with my father, and I didn't know what to do.
Well, what did you consider?
I considered just killing myself.
Did you consider killing your father?
No, not at that time.
Were you feeling angry? Were you feeling depressed? Were you feeling sad? What were you feeling at that point?
I was extremely sad. I felt like nothing mattered anymore. I felt like the one thing that I'd been living for suddenly was taken away from me, and I didn't care about life anymore.
Was your social life better when you lived in California versus when you lived in New Jersey, or was it worse, or was it the same?
It was better.
And what was different about your social life in California than when you lived in New Jersey?
I had a lot more friends. I was able to go out with my friends. Was able to hang out with my friends, and suddenly I felt more important.
You popped the mic.
I felt more important.
Okay. Did you feel liked by friends?
Yes.
During those years in California, did you ever think about what would happen if any of your friends knew? Did you think about that?
I thought about it all the time.
And what did you think?
I couldn't accept the fact that they might be able to find out. I was never going to let them find out, and that's just all I thought. I never thought about what would happen if they knew, because that just was not going to happen.
Well, were you concerned about people knowing?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want them to know, or did you not want them to know?
No, I did not want them to know.
Why?
Overall,
Why didn't you want them to know?
we specify what it is that he didn't want them to know.
Why did you not want them to know that you were a boy who had sex with his father?
Because I didn't want to be humiliated. I wanted them to like me. I wanted them to think that I was a friend of theirs, and I just wanted to be one of them.
One of the boys.
Yeah.
Did you think what was happening with you and your father was normal or abnormal?
I knew it was extremely abnormal, and I wasn't going to let anyone find out.
Did you think what was happening with your father was all his fault, or did you think it was partly your fault?
No, I thought it was partly my fault.
In what way was it your fault?
That I never stopped him, and that I let it go on, and just those reasons.
Did you have a high opinion of yourself because of what was going on with your father? A low opinion? No opinion?
I thought I was a coward.
What else?
I hated myself for it, and I knew I should have stopped it.
Okay. Now, what did you do after you went through this period of feeling sad and feeling sorry for yourself?
I just cried a lot and decided to leave.
To leave?
To leave. I decided to go over to a friend's house.
You mean to leave the house?
Yes.
And what did you do based on that decision, if anything?
I packed my bags.
Back up a little.
I started to pack a big bag, duffel bag.
A big duffel bag?
One of my tennis bags.
Okay. How long were you planning to stay at a friend's house?
Just for a few days.
And had you ever done that before?
I had stayed at a friend's house for a day, but never for a few days, no.
Did you think your parents would let you?
I really didn't care.
So you packed this tennis bag?
Yes.
Did something happen while you were in the process of packing it?
Yes.
What happened?
My mom came into the room. She knocked on the door, and I opened it, and she saw what I was doing. And
Why didn't she just walk in? Why did you have to open the door?
I always kept my door locked.
Did everybody in that house always keep their doors locked?
Yes.
And after your mother came in, what happened next?
She looked at what I was doing, and she said, "Where the hell do you think you're going?" And I said, "Just for over a friend's house for a few days." And she said, "No, you're not." And she just started throwing the clothes out of the duffel bag. And
what did you do?
I just watched.
And what happened after that?
She screamed and said a few more things about how I wasn't going to leave. And then she ran out of the room.
She ran out of the room?
Marched.
Marched?
She ran and marched out of the room.
She left the room in a hurry?
Yes.
What kind of emotional condition was she in when she left?
She was very angry.
Why was she angry?
We had had a fight before, a year before, about it.
A fight with whom?
We had an argument with my mom a year before, the same sort of argument,
About what?
about running away.
A year before there was an argument about running away?
Yes.
Well, did you tell your mother on this occasion, I'm running away, I'm going forever?
No, that was the year before.
On this occasion, where did you tell her you were going?
I just told her I was going over to my friend's house for a few days.
Did you tell her why?
No.
Did she ask why?
No.
So what did the year before have to do with the condition she was in when she left your room?
I just knew as soon as she walked in the room that there was going to be a problem, and I didn't even bother.
Well, what was her emotional condition? I'm not clear. Was she upset? Was she sad? Was she in despair that
when
her
she
son
walked in the room?
When she walked out of the room?
She was furious.
She was angry?
She was angry, yes.
Okay. Did you have permission to run away from home?
No.
Was she angry the year before when you told her you wanted to do that?
Yes.
And after your mother left the room angry, did someone else come to your room?
Yes.
And who was that?
My father.
And did he say anything to you?
Yes.
What did he say?
He asked me if I had a problem, and he asked me what I thought I was doing, and pushed me against the window, and I came up real close, and he said, "You planning on going somewhere?" And I said,
Now,
"No."
are you remembering this verbatim? You remember every word he said?
No, I just remember the feeling that I had and what he did.
Is this the substance of the conversation?
Yes.
Okay. And what else, if anything? What were the other things he said?
He told me that he was leaving this week, and that I had better be there when I get back.
When you get back?
When he gets back.
Okay.
He said that he was leaving that week, and that he would deal with me then.
Deal with you when?
When he got back.
And what did that mean to you?
I figured what it would mean. I figured that it would mean that he would punish me in some way.
Mr. Menendez, you have to sit back. You keep popping the mic. Try to sit back.
I figured that it would mean he would punish me in some way, in the way he always did.
It wasn't what?
In the way he always did.
Did he strike you during this conversation?
No.
And after, I take it he left after telling you he would deal with you when he got back?
Yes.
And how did you feel after he left? Were you still going to pack and go to a friend's house?
No, you see, the state I was in at the time, I just didn't care. It just, after my dad told me that I wasn't gonna get away from him in essence, instead of going to college, that I was gonna have to stay at home several nights a week, I just didn't care. Nothing seemed to matter to me anymore, and life just seemed to fold right in front of me, and I didn't care whether he hit me. I didn't care whether he killed me. It didn't matter to me anymore, because if I wasn't going to get away from that, then who cared? And so he did what he wanted. It didn't matter anymore.
Well, are those the thoughts that went through your mind after he left?
Those were the thoughts that were there the whole day and the next day.
Okay. And were you then getting ready to put up with the same activity for the next few years that you had been putting up with for the previous 12?
No.
What were you thinking of doing?
I was thinking of just killing myself. I was in a daze, and I didn't know what to do. And I just wanted to die. Life no longer mattered, and I didn't know what to do. I thought of telling Lyle. I thought I couldn't do that it would be too embarrassing, and that I couldn't admit it. And I just...
So two things occurred to you. One, to kill yourself, and the other, to tell Lyle?
Yes.
Over the years, the 12 years, had you ever told Lyle?
No.